but they're really smart players, both of them, understanding the pocket's going to be a little bit easier than the tables they played on all week, but it's all about the cue ball control.
Yeah, they're two smart players, two classy players. Great to watch. Let's enjoy this one in the company of Carl Boys and Steve Schlanger.
Oh, Hannah, thank you very much. It is Friday night in Atlantic City. Let the party begin. What more could you ask for than the final quarterfinal matches with spots in the final four available for the winners here this evening at Harrah's Atlantic City? And in our featured match, it is the runner-up from last year, Max Lechner, the 33-year-old from Austria, who is undefeated so far at this year's U.S. Open, and he is facing the 28-year-old from Taiwan, Ping Chung, who is 7-1 in his run this week. His only loss coming in the second round to the American Corey Deuel. He had to go through the consolation bracket. He had to survive a hill thriller, but he has made it here to the quarterfinal round, and now a chance to move into the semifinals on the big stage at the U.S. Open. Well, Carl, as we get set for this match to commence, how do you see it shaping up? What are going to be the keys?
Good question. The fact that these two met 12 months ago in the semi-finals, and they are both here again, this time the quarterfinals, of course, but that just shows you that these two players are the real deal, and they love the US Open.
Not many better events to put on the portfolio, to have on your resume, than this prestigious major. Both of these would love it. Lechner came so close last year.
Have a great match, and you may lag for break.
There's the handshake. There's the lag. Looks like Ping Chung.
Mr. Ping Chung wins the lag.
So, two top 15 players in the world. The race to 10 for a spot in the last four here at the U.S. Open.
Rack number one, Mr. Ping Chung to break.
That's a nice break. May not open up, but it has done. It's gone past the 3, so this. Certainly look at the 2 ball. The green 6 looks a little bit stuck later on.
Ping Chung won his match earlier today in the last 16, 10-5 over the German Joshua Filler. Filler had been undefeated up until that match here at this U.S. Open, and no opponent had won more than 5 racks against him, so it was quite the achievement for Ping Chung to get that win that has vaulted him here into this quarterfinal match this evening.
Here comes the cue ball. Playing for the side pocket, and then I believe he was going to send the cue ball into the 9 and the 6. Preferably the 9 ball. That would give him a shot on the purple 5 in left centre or top left corner. That's not bad. Ping Chung must be happy with where his game is at. Beat Filler 10-5 in the previous round. That is no mean feat.
Looking good for a break and run here in the first rack of this match.
This is what you will be seeing over the next couple of hours. Cue ball excellence, control, very smooth cueist.
So he runs the rack to open this match. A junior world champion from a decade ago. And now here on the senior level, the big stage at the US Open, and the perfect start for the 28-year-old. Meanwhile, on table number one, Victor Zielinski against Aloysius Yap. First rack for them. The two winners of these matches taking place right now will meet tomorrow in the semifinals.
Cue ball needs to slow down, also it's hooked. It's a little unfortunate. Yap, a beaten finalist here at the US Open a couple of years ago. That was against Carlo Biardo. This time? Oh, okay.
And now back to the break on our featured table. Ping Chung had to go the hard way after losing his second match of the tournament. Had to go through losers qualification. Survived a hill final along the way.
Push out called.
He seems like he's playing his best pool now, here when it matters most, late in the week on the penultimate day of the competition.
Mr. Lechner, your option?
You heard the referee, John Lehman, telling Max he has the option to play this shot or pass it back. Good safety shot. Kick shot looks easy. He's looking at the gap in between the 7 and the 9. I wonder if he can get to the rail and then try and flick the 1 ball onto the red 3. Well, he could get straight to the 1 ball. I think he may be getting the jump cue out for this one.
He's got the 2, the 9, and the 7 staring him in the face. Just a delicate kiss off the 1, right as the shot clock was about to expire.
Won't be happy with that one. He would have really fancied potting the ball there.
Now Lechner never saw the table in the first rack. And now his first real opportunity to try and get in a rhythm here in this match.
Missed it. This is going to work out okay. I think he's got to go below the green 6 ball here. So underneath it with a little bit of spin.
Extension, please.
Looks like he's looking at the gap in between the purple and the 6 for a second.
He's called for the extension. Again, each player gets 1 extension per rack. So more time available on the shot clock as he surveys this from various angles.
Oh, he's going in between that little gap. Watch the cue ball arc.
The foul, no contact.
Now Lechner just hasn't gotten a shot he can really sink his teeth into to really
Start shot clock, please.
develop a tempo and a flow. Hasn't been left with much from this man, Ping Chung, so far. But now ball in hand for the 28-year-old. Now very smooth, confident, and poised for a 2-0 lead here. A little more tradecraft involved in this rack after he had the break and run in the opening rack, but he gets the win in the end, and it's now 2-0 in favor of Ping Chung here as quarterfinal Friday winds down at Harrah's and the U.S. Open in Atlantic City. And both of the matches taking place right now on our featured table here, as well as table 1, are each 2-0. Ping Chung leading Max Lechner, and Victor Zielinski now 2 up on Aloysius Yap. Now your thoughts so far on the battle between these two. Lechner seems to be trying to remain patient and wait for his opportunity to go on a run.
Yeah, that's what he's got to do. He knows better than anyone. He will have been in this situation numerous times. Sometimes you just don't get off to the lead. He would have fancied hitting that ball out of the hook.
Our current score is 2-0 in favor of Mr. Ping Chung. Mr. Ping Chung to break.
Yeah, so to miss the 1 ball, that will disappoint him because you just never know. You could pot the 1 ball, you could get lucky. Ko seems to be breaking well. Here comes the blue 2, but boy is he faced with a tough pot.
He deliberated over it for a while, and it just stays up. He knew how difficult the challenge was. And now is this the opportunity that Lechner has been waiting for? Pretty good spread on the table.
Done well there to leave himself this shot. Good chance to take his first rack of this quarter-final. These two have got history. 12 months ago, battled it out in this very same arena in the semis. Lechner got the best of it. He's doing really well. We often talk about defending champion coming back to defend the title, but this man was runner-up. Often gets overlooked.
An extra level of motivation, of hunger, the appetite to go a step further.
looking good.
And this to have the lead of Ko Ping Chung here in this quarterfinal match. Max Lechner is on the board after trailing by multiple racks for the first time this week at the U.S. Open. 2-1, the lead for Ko Ping Chung here at Harris. Back here in Atlantic City, and earlier today in the quarterfinal round, we saw Fedor Gorst dismiss Robbie Capito 10-7. Jason Shaw fell to Alexa Pacel, and now on our featured table it is Ko Ping Chung with a 2-1 lead over Max Lechner. Victor Zelensky, meantime, leads 3-0 over Aloysius Yap. That is on table number 1. You can see them right there. A pair of unbeaten players so far this week here in Atlantic City.
Our current score is 2-1 in favor of Mr. Ko Ping. Mr. Lechner to break.
And now Max Lechner, the 3-time Austrian national champion, breaking for the first time in this match.
A little bit thin on the head ball. Balls didn't really get moving. Well, looking at the overhead, it wasn't as thin as I initially thought.
So a dry break. And Ko Ping Chung now with ample time here to make his decision. You surprised at that miss?
I think when you're cutting it back, and it's just off straight, I think, you know, you do miss them now and again. Good news for Lechner, though. Straight back to the
Attention,
table
please.
after his dry break. Tough pot. Just overcut the ball.
So each player missing on the 1 in the upper right corner.
I don't believe he could pot this ball. I think he's playing off left edge. Get distance. Watch outside pocket. Another chance for Lechner to pot the 1 ball. May have to spin this with left English. Come round the back of the 7, get down the bottom end of the table, see what the table gives you. This is not going to work. Really surprising shot choice there.
Why would he go for that, do you think?
Maybe just didn't fancy the pot, just didn't fancy the shot. I mean, if you don't fancy the shot, you don't have to play it, but I'd have fancied him potting the ball. Needs this 1 ball to stop. Oh wow, it's popped out.
Just a few revolutions too many. Lechner has been forced to play a lot of those shots in these first 4 racks.
I think he's going to try and swerve around the 9 ball, hit the rail and pocket the 2.
Extension, please.
He'll go close to this. It's not a majorly difficult shot. It's all about judging the amount of swerve you get on this cue ball.
Please take the extension available off Mr. Ping Chung.
So both players have used their extension to the shot clock here early in this 4th rack.
Yeah, we we got to see Ko Ping Yi go in hand then, the two brothers. Ko Ping Chung. No matter which tournament, no matter where they are in the world, they're always supporting each other when they play.
He's already used his extension, so he has to make a decision on a shot pretty quickly.
This is a tester, wants this to slow down. Whenever you're playing it up past the middle, you are making the shot missable.
A little more breathing room now.
Hit that one sweet. Really did. Got through the cue ball lovely. Just to Mr. Nineball. He's looking in good form so far.
The game looks sharp, on point. Hitting all of his marks and back out to a 2-rack lead here in this quarterfinal match. Well, earlier in the junior competition, a young man named Lorenzo Martinez came away as the winner. A hotly contested group of young men came here to Atlantic City to tackle these tables here at Harrah's.
Junior Open.
So Martinez gets the win. He defeats a quality field. And now let's hear from the newly crowned U.S. Open Junior Champion here in South Jersey.
Lazaro, many congratulations. It was a close final all the way, and I was particularly impressed with that wonderful 8-ball you pulled out in the last rack there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, as I was running out and he made a quick mistake and I kind of fell short on the 8, I was telling myself, like, you practice for this every day. So then I kind of took a breather, you know, I pulled the trigger and I made it, and that was the end she wrote.
Tell us a bit about what it means to you now to come here and win an event like this in these circumstances and in this setting.
Yeah, I played last year and I think I got about 3rd or 4th, and so I knew this year would be my last year. And the guy here, and the conditions were very, very tough, you know, tight pockets, but it's great because it forces us to play a little bit better, and I loved it.
Shane Van Boning, 5-time US Open champion, world champion last year, came out to present you with the trophy. That just adds to the excitement of it all, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, considering he's my favorite player of all time, you know, it just excites me more.
And what lies ahead for you? Back to school Monday?
Yep, back to school Monday and start practicing.
Okay, well listen, it's been so impressive to see all the juniors this week. You've come out on top. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Oh, that's harsh. Back to school after winning such a big title. You should get some time for
Excuse me.
the celebration.
Mr. Ko Ping Chung to break.
Carl, that's a big stepping stone, though, winning a major junior championship like this. Nearly all the players that have made it to this point here at the U.S. Open have won a big title like that along the way in their careers as well.
Yeah, and what's good about it is the fact that it was in this very setting, in this room, in this arena. They got to walk down through the crowd Just 3 tables left here. Our TV arena and then the other 2 feature tables. So there was a big crowd over there. I went over and watched a few racks. What an occasion for that young man. This was a good break and a good split. Ping Chung's one of these players where when the balls are in the open like this, he has a high percentage of clearing the table. That's because his cue ball control is on point.
The only time he really has lost the cue ball so far in this match was on the 1 ball in the last rack, but wasn't penalized for it in the end.
Nice angle it, can just float back up even where the cue ball is now would be okay.
Ping Chung had a break and run in the first rack of this match. This will be his second.
Mr. Ping Chung brings it out.
And the biggest lead of the match so far, he's up by 3. Ping Chung, a 28-year-old from Taiwan, in fine form here as he looks for a spot in the semifinals at the U.S. Open. Well, this U.S. Open offering automatic qualifying spots for both Team USA and Team Europe at the upcoming Mosconi Cup. That'll be early December. The most prestigious team event in the sport. Everyone looking for their spots. Just one automatic qualifier for both Europe and the U.S. prior to this U.S. Open. Each team will get their second at the end of this week, and then their third and final ones at the end of the upcoming Hanoi Open. And then there's a couple of wild cards for each team as both captains look to fill out their rosters and complete their squads for what is always one of the highlights on the pool calendar. 4 days of competition from London.
Our current score is 4-1 in favor of Mr. Ping Chung. Mr. Ping Chung to break.
It'll be in early December, but before we get there, some high-pressure pool still to be played in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
This may open up. Yeah, the 6 is there, so he can play the combo. The break is working out for Ping Chung earlier on in this match.
Not good news for Lechner because already on 2 occasions here with the strong break of Ping Chung, he's not allowed Lechner on the table. Just run the rack after the break.
work to do here. It's going to send the cue ball off 3 rails. Cue ball may also hit the 4th rail. So like a stun draw, it'll come back below the red 3 ball. It was straight. That was even easier. Nicely played. The other match between Victor Zelinsky and Lucius Yap is now tied at 3 racks each.
It's a battle of undefeated players. Winners of these 2 matches face each other tomorrow in the semifinals.
Attention, please.
There's that match on table number 1, Yap and Zelinsky. Zelinsky earlier today had to survive a hill thriller. David Alcade from Spain, just to make it here to the quarterfinal round. That was a marathon, a highly entertaining match. And now locked in another tight duel. Zelinsky takes the lead 4-3. Ping Chung just sailing right along here, up by 3. And largely mistake-free.
One more good shot here, and then he should be up by 4. Tiny bit short. If he can dig into this ball, draw it off the side, play for the 9-ball in the same pocket, that's what he'll do. That'll work out.
For the 3rd time, he's had a break and run and uses this one to establish a 4-rack lead. Ping Chung just rolling along here, leading 5-1 in Atlantic City. Runner-up Max Lechner here, 5-1, as he breaks in rack number 7. So, Carl, we've seen some comebacks today. It certainly is there, but this is an entirely different match for Ping Chung. Do you see any way that he's going to let Lechner back into this one?
Yeah, we're still at that point where it's achievable. 4 racks seems a lot, but it really isn't. But Ping Chung is breaking really nice. He's getting that cue ball square off the side rail time and time again, and he's getting a look at the lowest ball. But don't be fooled, this is not an easy shot. He's either going to draw the ball or go forward. Got to pot this clean. Has to be played with a lot of power and right spin. And he may just get away with this. Yeah, he's on this ball. Fantastic temperament Max Lechner has got. He just sits there in the chair, glaring at the table. Never flinches, just waits to see if he'll get an opportunity.
Extension, please.
He's been in the chair for most of this match. Ping Chung using his 1 extension now in the rack. Consider how impressive this is. Max Lechner comes into this match unbeaten here this week at the U.S. Open, and in 4 of his 6 matches, his opponent didn't win more than 3 racks. Ping Chung already has 5 here. It's been a dominant week for the Austrian, but this 28-year-old from Taiwan is putting on a show.
Lost the cue ball a little bit there. So just needs to take care of this one. Good news, if you pot it, you can't fail to be on the 7. 8 and the 9 are simple, so this is as good as potting the 9-ball, really. That's what he'll be thinking. This is the rack shot. Oh. What a mistake from Ping Chung. Is this the moment Lechner has been waiting for? Just catching the near jaw. This is a tough pot when you've been sat in your chair, but these are the moments that can swing matches. Oh, what a shot. He has cued that tremendous. Right in the heart of the pocket, cueing off the rail.
Now presented his best opportunity, really, of the match. Now that miss from Ping Chung. It's going to lead to Lechner inching closer. Lechner with a convincing win earlier today over Miguel Silva, 10-3. Now having to come from 4 racks down against Ping Chung in the quarterfinals. He's on the board with his 2nd rack win and trailing 5-2 now. Now in the other match taking place over on table number 1, Victor Zielinski, Aloysius Yap They are dead even, 4 racks apiece. And this is Zielinski, top 10 player in the world, unbeaten here this week. Such a prodigy, just 22 years of age, from Poland. Was the youngest player to ever win a Euro Tour event. That was back in 2017 when he won at the age of 16. So he's been playing big time pool for a long time. Yep, meantime, not too much older, just 27 from Singapore. The world junior champion from back in 2014.
That was close. He's going to get away with it. He's going to get the hook behind the 9 and the green 6.
5-2 in favor.
Yap with a win over Mario He earlier today. 10-5 in the last 16. Zielinski, meantime, with that Hill final thriller, 10-9 over David Al-Kaidi. So again, they're 4-4 on table 1. It is 5-2 Chung here over Lechner on our featured table.
Well, it looked like
As I went too quick, I would love to see
it
that
was a
again.
foul.
It was a foul, wasn't it? Yeah, I was 99, but wanted to make sure. Thanks, guys. Foul stroke.
Yeah, the players were just helping
Ball in hand.
Marcel Eckert.
Please
He
start
wasn't
it.
sure because Yap hit it so hard, so very sporting. Jump shot is on for Max Lechner. And he'll fancy this jump shot as well. He's fluked it.
Oh, he gets the break. Cue ball stays on top.
Incredible hit, that jump shot so bad as well.
Well, he needed some good fortune, huh?
Yeah, it's still tough. Cue ball's near the corner. Tough putt on the 3, even if he goes for it. The green 6 is tied up. Zielinski's
Attention, please.
taking his time on this finish. Just making sure. Very talented youngster. They just seem to be getting younger and younger.
That's a fascinating matchup. You have Zielinski, a top 10 player in the world. Yap, who is outside the top 30. So quite a big spread in their world rankings. But Yap playing very well all week long. However, Zielinski pulls ahead, 5-4 through the first 9 racks on table 1.
Another fabulous pot on the 3 ball. Does have a shot on the 4, it's quite thin. Don't know if he can play it slow enough to come 1, 2 rails, or does he have to come 3 or 4 rails? Oh yeah, he's got to miss the 7. It's a fabulous effort so far, this. Still another 5 balls to go. Big problems here as well.
A lot to think about. The balls are spread out, but not a lot of time to do it. He's already used his extension here in this rack.
Beautiful kick and stick. Really was. It's always a nice shot to watch on a pool table.
He's got them all. The full arsenal in his bag. Pulled it off.
Extension, please. No extension. There we go.
Yeah, called his extension. Knows this is a big shot. He's actually playing the 6 ball. Trying to set up position now for a bank shot in the other middle pocket. Can he make the bank shot? Looks like he's overrun it a little bit. Yeah, he has. He couldn't get there. Never fancied it. I think he's left this.
It's been interesting talking to some of the players about the shot clock this week, and they say that for some it's so unsettling that while you're sitting in your chair, you have to be anticipating what you might do depending on the variety of results from the shot your opponent hasn't even yet hit. Kind of makes you think about the game in a different way, think ahead a little bit more.
Doesn't need to play it off the 9.
For the first time, Max Lechner has won back-to-back racks, and he is now back to within 2 of Ping Chung. 5-3 in this race to 10, with a spot in the semifinals at stake tomorrow against the winner of the match happening concurrently on table 1, Victor Zielinski and Aloysius Yap. They are tied at 4 racks apiece. So 2 pretty good quarterfinal matches brewing here. And it's been a very entertaining day of quarterfinal action. 8 different nations represented among the 8 players
Extension,
in the
please.
quarterfinals today. So a lot of international flavor to this Friday here at the U.S. Open, the 46th edition of this Grand Major here at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This is Yap with the bridge. Good touch.
Mr. Lechner to break.
And now Lechner following his second successive rack win on the break.
What's he faced with here? Well, he's faced with a pot. That's okay. This is all about the speed. I think he's got to play for the red 3 in the same pocket. If he overruns it, he might go behind the green 6 ball. Just come up a little bit short.
Extension, please.
So a miss on the 4 gets Ping Chung back on the table.
Extension, please.
Couple of options. Get the 4 ball on the top rail. Try and get the cue ball down towards the brown 7. Because the green 6 will help. Could play the bank as well. He's played the first option. Speed looks wonderful here. Look at this for a shot.
And his pace has been exquisite. Some players have talked about adjusting to the surface of the table here today. This is a new table that they have not used up until this point in the center of the venue.
Don't always get away with it. And he hasn't this time. Lechner was on a small fight back there.
table has really come to him since the miss on the 4 from Lechner. And now it seems imminent that he will be able to reestablish a 3-rack lead.
Lechner had a chance in this rack. He missed a 4-ball.
Ping Chung has doubled up the score of Max Lechner, last year's runner-up, now trailing 6-3 here in this quarterfinal matchup at Harrah's in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Victor, your choice. Aloysius, please play again. The extension, please. Foul stroke, no contact, ball in hand. And please start the shot clock.
Well, earlier this week, we started with over 250 players down to the last 8 on this Friday. And one semifinal is already set. Fedor Gorsht and Alexa Pacel will meet tomorrow, while the winners of the matches currently taking place will also go head-to-head. Victor Zelinsky and Aloysius Yap, they are tied at 5 on table 1, while Ping Chung is leading Max Lechner 6-3 on our featured table here at this venue inside Harrah's, Atlantic City. What an entertaining week it's been.
6-3 in favor of Mr. Ping Chung. Mr. Ping Chung to break.
'46th edition of this U.S. Open that feels like It has now made Harrah's here in Atlantic City its new home. Of course, this sport of Nineball with a long and rich history in the U.S., starting back in the 1920s in Virginia. And Ko Ping Chung hoping to add his name to the long list of champions. He's been playing like a champion this week.
Yeah, his older brother, he's also a champion, Ko Ping Yi. He won our World Pool Masters title earlier on in the season. Fantastic win that was for big brother Ko. Can he play the bank shot? Oh yes, he can. That was actually a real good opportunity in this rack. That was not a difficult bank at the angle. It was coming in at the pocket.
If you're Max Lechner and you're looking at this table, and you glance up at the score, he's a good player. He can certainly come from behind, but this is maybe the point where you're going to start to feel a measure of concern. On the right-hand side of the screen, Zielinski and Yap tied at 5. Winners meet tomorrow in the semis. And among the 4 players currently out there between our featured table and table 1, there's only 1 total loss this week here at the U.S. Open. Oh, Ko Ping Chung hangs it up.
That is a big mistake. That rack was very easy. Big draw stroke. It's come out good.
Ko Ping Chung had a miss a few racks back late in the rack that allowed Lechner to take the table and pick up his second rack win of the match. Now another terrific opportunity for the Austrian. Well, the miss on the 6th ball has to sting for Ko Ping Chung. That potentially could have been the difference between a 4-rack lead and what is now once again a 2-rack lead over Max Lechner. You let a good player like this hang around, you never know what can happen at this stage of a tournament such as this.
Yeah, especially when they beat you last year in last year's semi-final. Victor Zielinski tried to play the bank. That's how close he got. Oh, he's overdone that. He's overcooked it.
Now the 6th ball on both these tables here in the last few minutes has been tricky. It's well done.
Rack number 11, our current score is 6-4 in favor of Mr. Ko Ping Chung. Mr. Lechner to break.
Mad Max, as they call him. Winner today in the last 16 over Miguel Silva. A very convincing victory, 10-3. Prior to that, in the last 32, he dismissed the American Oscar Dominguez in a very entertaining and close match, 10-7. That's been the closest match he's played so far among his 6 wins. Dominguez, the only one to get to 7 racks off Lechner.
Well, on the other table, nobody seems to want to win rack 11 because Zielinski had a wonderful chance after that kicked in 6th ball. Didn't play a good positional shot to get on that 8. Missed the 8. Yap's back at the table. Can he convert? Well, it looks like he can. Meanwhile here, Lechner, he's in the balls. Pulled it back to 2 racks. He's now looking the stronger player.
Just Yap wins the rack.
And Yap is out in front. So the pendulum swinging back and forth in that match on table number 1. Lechner trying to take control of this rack here on our featured table. Handed an opening late in the rack prior to this by Ping Chung with an uncharacteristic miss. Lechner came on, cleared the table, broke this rack, and now trying to take it the distance.
Slightly overrun the cue ball. Yeah, he's going forward, possibly off 2 rails. Cue ball's going to be travelling somewhat. Just seems to be becoming the stronger player here for me out of these 2.
His first protracted run of success. Off the break, he runs the rack. And now to within 1 of the lead of Ping Chung. Now the 28-year-old from Taiwan led by as many as 4 racks, but that lead has dwindled down to just 1. So 2 very close, tight, and pretty entertaining matches here unfolding in our last quarterfinal matches of the day here on this Friday evening. Ping Chung, Max Lechner. At this stage, judging by what you've seen, what's going to decide it between these 2, Carl?
It's a good question. Ping Chung, it wasn't like it was a difficult chance. That's what's worrying. Clearly just thrown a bad stroke in. Lechner sat in the chair, he just looks up for the job for me here. He looks composed. Is the fact that Lechner beat Chung last year in the semi starting
12,
to play?
Our current score is 6-5 in
Chung's
favor of
mind.
Mr. Ping Chung. Mr. Lechner to break.
There's also the factor, too, that since Ping Chung missed that shot on the 6 a couple of racks ago, he has not been back on the table. So he spent a lot of time in the chair just thinking about that mistake and watching Max Lechner just inch closer to him.
Of course, it's difficult for us to tell what angle, how much of the blue 2 Max can see. Can he pop this ball in the side? Can he play it off the purple 5 into the side? It's tight. Yes, he's played the second option. Now he's going to have to play off the edge of the 3, send the cue ball into the 6, pot in the 6 ball.
Attention, please.
Going to take a little extra time to evaluate this. Just dial in the exact spot where he wants to make contact with that 3.
Is he going to get left a shot? He is not. Maybe trying to pop the purple in the top corner. Or maybe trying to play a kick safe. Wonderful shot. Really was.
Attention, please.
That's what he played. Didn't so much play the 3 there, but it was all about the cue ball. Well, Max is in big trouble here. That's what he's faced with. Coming off the top rail, he's missed it.
Foul.
He has missed it.
That feels like such a big
Start shot clock,
momentum
please.
rack. Ping Chung trying to move back out to a multiple rack lead. Lechner, who's been chasing Ping Chung this entire match, trying to finally draw even at 6 racks apiece. Could be a pivotal rack in the race to 10.
Yeah, this will just help him settle down again after that missed 6 ball. Had a good lead in this quarter-final match. That needs to travel. Yeah, you can see off his expression that was a little bit short. A bit naive, really, anywhere. In the middle of the table would have done. Probably landed in the only spot where he's given himself work to do. Okay, he's going to have to play for the 9 in the same pocket as where the pink and the purple are. That's the bottom left pocket. All about the pace, this. Oh, he has just started to miss a few silly balls from nowhere. He looked so strong at the beginning.
Got that one well up the rail.
What's Max looking at here? Thin, trying to get it back in behind the 9 with the looks of it. Oh, nice. Nice hands, nice touch. It's incredible to think we're at 6-5 with the chances Ping Chung has had. He has made some real unforced errors. Needs a bit of luck here. Either side contact, things could happen in favour. He's to hit a rail. He's been fortunate there. He's been very fortunate there.
He got just enough of that 8.
Yeah, and after contact, you must strike a rail. So the fact he come back across and hit the rail means it's no foul. Cue ball back in behind the 9. Bounce the 8 ball over to the left side of the table. Oh, he's played the kick shot. Okay. That's what he played. I think he's done a fine job here so far, Max, to stay in this match when it all looked like it was going against him.
He was down 4 racks at one point. Now a chance to get back completely even. It's been cagey here with these last few shots. But Lechner might finally have that opportunity to come all the way back here.
Big moment coming up. Tough 8 ball. It's in the middle of the pocket. He is up for this.
Max Lechner rises to the occasion. At 1 point down 4 racks, we're back on level terms. A dozen racks in, and we're tied at 6 in the quarterfinal round of the 46th edition of the U.S. Open.
Zelensky wins the round. The 14th rack. Victor Zelensky to break, trailing by 7 racks to 6. Foul stroke. Ball in hand. And please start your shot clock.
Ask Alexa, because Pechelj has gone storming back, winning 8 of the last 9 racks, and has beaten Jason Shaw 10-7.
Alexa Pechelj was down 6-2 at 1 point to Jason Shaw, wins 10-7. Both of the other quarterfinal matches earlier today went 17 racks, each 10-7 final scores. Fedor Gorsht over Robbie Capito, and Alexa Pechelj over Jason Shaw. And in our 2 final quarterfinal matches
13,
taking place right
we
now,
are currently tied
could be heading
at 6 games apiece.
to a similar score.
Mr. Lechner to break.
Both of these matches going deep. 6 apiece here on our featured table with Lechner on the break.
Yeah, it's now a race to 4 here to see who books their place into tomorrow's semi-final. That looks like a scratch.
Such a pivotal rack a moment ago. Feels like Lechner has snatched some momentum here. Trailed 5-1 at 1 point in this match.
Start your
Now
shot clock,
6-all.
please.
Ping Chung with some uncharacteristic misses, some errors. But now as we get deeper in this match, the tension building, stakes rising. Every rack so critical. With a spot in the semis on the line here.
Just feel like this is very important for Ping Chung now. Made 2 glaring errors with easy table layouts. Doesn't want to be on the rail or straight. Looks like he's got a little bit of angle. He can force this over to the right hand side of the table. And I don't know if he has to come below the 5. Yeah, he does. Is this going to land okay for a shot in the middle? Not really. It's a good recovery.
He's never trailed in this match. But the fact that he's made those mistakes that have allowed Lechner back in now. The challenge to recalibrate, focus, stay in the moment. Well, the scratch off the break by Lechner allowed Ping Chung to run the rack. And maybe a little sigh of relief as he is back in front, 7-6. Felt like that's something he needed, a sustained run after things were starting to get away from him, a few mistakes. It got a little choppy. But that was more like what we saw from him earlier in this match that helped him establish the big lead.
Maybe it's the Snickers. Maybe that's the secret.
Now that is Lorenzo Martinez shaking hands with SVB, Shane Van Boening, as the new U.S. Open Junior champion. I mean, his idol, favorite player of all time, hands him the trophy, wins the biggest event of his life so far. Not a bad day's work.
Yeah, that's fantastic to see. What a special day for the young man. He can play the game too. I was watching 4 or 5 racks over there. Them juniors, they know what's going on a pool table.
Ping Chung, a former junior world champion from exactly a decade ago.
Rack number 14. Our current score is 6-7 in favor of Mr. Ping Chung. Mr. Ping Chung to break.
Says it very nice, Mr. John Lehman. Teeing the break shot up.
Already twice in this match, he's had a break and run.
unfortunate for Lechner this, because he scratched at 6-6 after a wonderful comeback, wonderful fight back, playing some beautiful shots. Ping Chung cleared the table. Now he just broke off, and look at the layout here.
Extension, please.
This is just good cue ball control. This is all that is required. He's going to swing the cue ball around 2 rails. Center of the table again. Nothing for short. Make sure you come round just like this. That's actually ideal. Couldn't put that better with your hand. Just plays a little soft stun shot across the face of the 9-ball.
He's had a few misses, but the one thing that's been just completely on point is his cue ball control here this evening.
Yeah, and the grind, you know, at the end of the day, he's missed a few shots. So what? Keep going. That's the art of being a professional pool player. Keep fighting till the very end.
At some point in an event like this, you're going to face adversity. Ping Chung has stared it down, and he has answered in fine fashion. Now back to a 2-rack lead here, and within 2 racks of winning the match and advancing on to the semifinal round. Also within 2 racks of advancing, Aloysius Yap over on table number 1, leading Victor Zielinski. 8-7 is the score there. So Zielinski looking to fight back.
As he rattles the blue 2 into the corner. Yap straight out of the chair. As quick as you can be. Slams the cue on the floor, gets the short stick. Must be in a rush over there. Maybe no extension to use. Not happy.
Now the 2 earlier quarterfinal matches both ended 10-7. These 2 matches also going deep into these later racks. 7-6 on our feature table. 8-7 on table 1. Ping Chung has essentially run the table through the last 2 racks and now breaks here, leading by 2.
He's got a little nippy pot into the right center. See the arc of the cue ball. Very consistent at doing that. Yeah, you can put this in the side. Cue ball's going away from him a little bit, but he's okay because he's got a red 3, green 6 combination. It's all going to be about the 8 ball, because you can see it's locked up on the 9, but the 7 ball's not in a bad spot to break it out. This is what he's come round to look at. In an exhibition, you'd play a cheeky pot here and try and hit the left side of the 8. Bit of a showmanship shot. He could play it, but if you hit it full, you're hooked. Didn't play that shot. He's waiting to play the shot on the 7 ball.
This is a long way from an exhibition, so the strategy is understandable.
Attention, please.
Crucial he gets the right angle on the brown 7. That will determine if he plays the breakout on the bad 2 balls. Okay, here we go. If he hits the 9 ball, cue ball could fly up top of the table. 9 ball could bounce off the side rail, come back in front of the 8, and you could be hooked. So probably wants to go into the 8. Oh, he could get into the back. That's ideal. That is ideal.
One of its best shots of the match.
Really grabbed into the cue ball. Well, from 6-6, he's had the opportunities, and fair play, he's took them. This 9 ball to be the first player on the hill.
He's run 3 racks in a row. And now on the hill, leading by 3. And on the doorstep of a place in the semifinal round here at the U.S. Open. Boy, things look so different. Just a few moments ago, tied at 6, had made some mistakes. Lechner had seized some momentum, but then the scratch off the Lechner break, that's what really opened the door for Ping Chung. Since that scratch, several racks back, Lechner has not been on the table. After the scratch, Ping Chung cleared the table, and he's had 2 back-to-back break-and runs to now lead 9-6. Friday night at the U.S. Open in Atlantic City. 46th edition of this historic and Very regal major championship. Many consider it to be the most coveted prize in the sport. And we've seen some incredible matches over these first 5 days of competition. It'll all culminate tomorrow with both the semifinals and the final. Starting with over 250 players and now down to the final 8 here this evening. So, the U.S. Open, of course, now 46 editions deep, one of the signature events in the sport. But coming up next, it'll be a brand new event that also will bring significance to the Nineball World Tour, the brand new Hanoi Open.
In favor of Mr. Ko Ping Chung. Mr. Ko Ping Chung to break on the hill.
And now the question is, will Max Lechner ever get back up out of that chair? Or has he hit his last shot here at the U.S. Open?
Well, does the 2-ball go past the 3? I believe he can sneak it past. It's tight. If he can't, will he play the 2 onto the 3 as a combo?
Squeezes it past the 3.
Extension, please.
This is a chance. Not only is it a chance to get through to tomorrow's semi-final in the biggest pool tournament of the calendar year, it's a chance to get one back, get your own back. Because Lechner was the man who knocked Ping Chung out of last year's semi-final. What a shot he's played there. Draws the cue ball back, couldn't put it better with his hand.
Those losses stick with you too, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. They're hard to forget. On the other table, Yap versus Selinsky, that's tied at 8-8. That's going to be a tight finish. Well, it is a tight finish. It's now a race to the 2. Pace needs to keep going. Needs to keep going. Can he reach this?
He's already used his extension.
One more good shot required. If he gets on this 8 ball, this match is over.
So resilient. Led 5-1, up by 4 racks at one point. Lechner came back to tie at 6-all. But since then, Ping Chung with the reset, and he's been untouchable since that point.
What a strong performance this has been. Looked under the gun. He stuck in there. This to make it through.
Ping Chung wins his 7th match in a row, finishing it off with 3 consecutive breaks and run. The 28-year-old from Taiwan is into the semifinal round of the U.S. Open.